Hi, and welcome to another video by Jimthecarguy. Today we're going to do a video on a tire pressure monitoring system. A lot of times what happens when you try to unscrew the valve stem, you'll notice that the stem itself, being made of aluminum, that it actually strips out and you can't put the valve back and you wind up with a leak. A lot of times you'll find the Hyundais and such as that have or Hondas also, they'll have the metal cap on top of the aluminum valve itself. So when you try to unscrew that cap, you break the valve off, and most of the time you've got to change the sensor along with the valve itself, which, as you know, can be real expensive. You know, you're looking at a couple of $100 to do it. I'm going to show you a kit that I use that I can repair the valve stem without changing the sensor itself. I did do a previous video on this, but this one I'm going to try to film it a little bit closer because I've heard a lot of my subscribers say that it's pretty dark and it's hard to see exactly. It's hard to see exactly what I'm doing, so I'm going to try to film it up close as I possibly can. The tire is off the vehicle, and we're going to work on the bench over here, and we're going to do it hopefully so you can see it a lot better than the previous video. So let's get over there. I'm going to show you exactly what to do and then how we're going to resolve it. All right, this is the tire itself, and as I was telling you about these valves right here, they're made of aluminum. So when they make made of aluminum, they actually strip out. In this particular case, it's leaking through the valve here. They've tried different inserts in here to no avail. So we're going to take this tool that I have, and we're going to remove the insert right here first. We're going to take that insert out. We're going to grind this down till it's about 1/8 of an inch away from that nut right there. And then we're going to rethread it and put the new stem back on. This is the kit that we actually use. These are the replacements after we do the drilling. This is the drill bit that we're going to use to actually drill through and drill it down as far as we need to. And this is the tap that we're going to use to tap out the original sensor. All right, so let me get set up over here, and then we're going to come right back and we're going to get started. And this tool was made by Ken Tools, just so you know. All right, so all right, let me set up the drill, and we're going to get started. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the insert from the tire itself, the valve. And we're going to discard that because we don't need this any longer. Alright, next thing we're going to do is we're going to set up our drill. Now, I might add, you'll see that this is sideways, that the valve is not in a down position. The reason that I'm doing that is because I want the filings to fall out. I don't want the filings to fall into the valve, to the sensor itself. All right, so we're just going to drill this out a little bit here. Now we're going to do it nice and easy. Okay, and that's what it looks like once you've ground it down. You'll have about 1/8 of an inch left of the valve itself. You'll have about 1/8 of an inch left on there, and then we're going to take an air chuck and we're going to blow out all of these filings in here, and then we're going to continue. The main thing is you want to get all these filings out of there. You don't want anything going back in. Now obviously you're going to have some filings fall back inside, but most of it came right back out. All right, next thing we're going to do is we're going to put our tap on here, and then we're going to screw it in here nice and easy. And we're going to recut new threads so we can screw the insert back into there. You just turn it in and you work it back and forth. You want those filings to fall out. So you turn it in a couple of turns and you just reverse it and take out the threads that you've just cut so that the metal falls outside, not in. Take your time and have patience. You don't want to damage it until you have to replace the entire valve. Now I might add, when you're doing this, you do not use any kind of thread cutting oil. It has to be done dry. And you'll feel when you get to the bottom it gets very tight, so you're not going to go, you'll know when you're at the bottom. You'll feel it. It'll touch and you'll feel it stop. All right, now we're going to clean out all those threads really well again, and then we'll continue with the next step. Now, what I normally do is you just look how far down this is on here, and this is how far you'll need to go. So you really have to go only till about there. You don't have to go much further. So let's just make sure that we're in far enough and we'll make sure. One last time, clean the threads. Okay, now that we have that out, we're going to put some, we're going to put a little bit of thread lock on here, and then we're going to turn this back in. Okay, now that we have all of the filings cleaned up out of there, we're going to put some of that thread lock on here. And you just put it onto the okay. All right. And what we're going to do is we're going to screw it in. There's a special tool that comes with this to screw it in. This is the tool here. You just put the valve on the end like this, and then we just screw it in here. And you screw it all the way down until the tool, you'll hear the tool click, so you don't over tighten it. Okay? Alright, that's it. Alright, so that's what your finished product is going to look like when it's all done. That's what it looks like. We cut the threads down to within a 1/8 of an inch of the nut. We threaded it inside. We put that lock sealer on it, the Loctite. Put that on, and then we use this tool here to put it in. And when you put this in here and you turn it in, it actually clicks to keep you from over tightening it and breaking the new valve or ripping out the threads that you just installed in there. So, all right, let me get an air chuck. We're going to put some air in this, and we'll make sure it's in good shape. Okay. All right, and once the Loctite dries in there, you fill it up with air, obviously with a, with your air tool. And then before we finalize the whole job, we want to make sure there's no leaks. So we're just going to spray around just to make sure that everything looks good. And that's it. As you can see, it's perfect. All right, so again, you'll avoid having to replace the whole tire pressure monitoring sensor, and you just install the insert. Make sure your Loctite dries before you put the air into it. I think they recommend 5 or 10 minutes for the Loctite to dry, and that's it. You're all set. One recommendation I have: they come with metal caps on them. You want to use the metal cap, and the reason I say that is because, as you can see, there's a seal inside there. It'll keep anything from getting inside on the top right here. All right, and that's it. All right, thanks for watching. Any questions or comments, you drop me a line. Be more than happy to talk to you about anything. As always, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.